I wanted to continue chit-chatting about something. 5D people and our lovely ability to be ourselves thanks to integration of the brain. And so here's where healthy self-worth and knowing exactly how to be your inner child, but not one that is projecting, one that has emotional awareness. And yes, I'm looking at my notes because I forget things. So a romantic lover is not romantic if they don't know passion and universal love. And that doesn't matter how old you are or not how old you are. Integration of the brain is the capacity that those who have secure attachment will immediately be available to. So the ability to know, oh, look, I have emotions coming up. I don't have to whine about doing personal development. And I'm going to do that voice every time because that's what I think of when I hear a grown-up human being whine about their emotions. For those who do not have secure attachment, it's important to note good therapists. EMDR, child parts work, and somatics. A good therapist like Patrick Tiahan, who's a childhood trauma survivor, he's healed and healing, he will share how important it is for any person who has had childhood trauma to understand Reiki, anything in our mystic plane, my lovely mystics. And that's why responsible mystics are the 5D ones who don't do something that I've seen tarot readers, shamanic, and others in my lovely mystic community do. Come do stuff with me. Don't go to therapy. Are you serious? You don't know anything about attachment or trauma informed, do you? You apparently don't understand when through breath work you activate an implicit memory and that human being isn't aware of their 0-1-year-old attached panicky, the 3 to 7 shame submissive, the freeze of all ages, the flight 11 12, and the fight 14 15 16, that you are not helping them to be more human, which is why the Elsa journey is a spinning wheel that people never get to. They don't become their self. They don't return home to being able to see, oh, look, in the mirror, it's me I've been looking for. So, healthy self-worth people, we don't actually take the lead by trying to be popular. And in fact, anything about a generous spirit like a lion, when we think of Simba, what does his father share with him? And the balance of life. And so I love all Disney because they have a way to try and support children to become members of their lovely herd and to believe in themselves. The individuals who are out there dividing people and or being reckless, I'm not sure if it's reckless because you know what I've met along my journey as a mystic and as a human being. I've met a lot of Cuscos. So I'm 44, and once I got my clairs and all things that, by the way, are not special gifts, there's nothing anointed about it. It's something that the academics look into. It's very beautiful. They call it the hard problem of consciousness. I, as a mystic, laugh because, yeah, it's not a problem. It's just being able to tap into a sphere of energy. But then again, they don't know that flow in the beautiful way that a mystic does. Okay, so one thing, let me organize myself. I'm attachment trauma informed. I'm an imperfect, flawed human being because I'm a whole 3-year-old heart who has no shame whatsoever. And I am a solo polyamory woman, just so you know who your host is right now. And that's because it's very important. I'm a Reiki master. There are theologians that are saying we are bad. So if you are any person who follows other people, you might want to, not associate with me because, here's where the casting of the stones comes into my brain. When I was a teenager, I found out I was casting stones because I was using the words good and bad the way that the grown-ups had taught me. And I did, this was my entire reaction when I was like, oh no, I'm doing something sinful, but not because I was afraid of going to hell. No, because I felt here, I'm doing something wrong. This is what it's called to know healthy self-worth. It's also when you don't have envy, jealousy, spite, or revenge, or vindictiveness. Now, all of those emotions, they're totally fair and square there for those who need good therapy to reparent themselves because they didn't get to have all of the basic 6 emotions and to express them and not to be suppressed and feel like they are defective. Okay, so inside you will feel whole with all of your basic emotions. We all have them, humanly speaking. Thanks, Mom. And luckily for me, I got Jesus and God, and that kept me. And then when I realized I was casting stones, this is when I stopped. And thank goodness we have academics. And as they are sharing, should we really be talking about people, humans, as inherently good or evil, good or bad? The smart human beings are not the 7 to 14 charming that I mentioned in the, the authority and discernment thing. Yeah, that other one. Go watch it on TikTok or YouTube. Okay, so when you're not a stupid person, I'm going to say that, because you have emotional and mental intelligence. It's very important. A 5D collective has both. So we're going to be like, okay, some information is interesting, some is not. A lot of people are teenagers out there. Okay, the teenagers is the word that I'm going to keep using for what is an adaptive child. And what I should explain is Terry Real. I love that man. He's a therapist too. So one, Patrick Tiahan for childhood trauma. And he's great at creating awareness and supporting people who want to get out of the inner child that dates beneath themselves, allows people to treat them like shit. And a lot of other words he doesn't use. I'm using my own words to say, yeah, a healthy self-worth person, when I get to see that, I've seen it my entire life. It's like, okay, why are you, I'm imperfect and flawed, right? Why are you giving yourself to the lowest bidder? Why are you chasing someone? Why are you whining about it right now? Okay, that's how I reacted with teenagers. And then I got told that I was not, what was it? You have no emotions. Yes, I'm like, yeah, sure I don't. I have emotions. I just don't have rumination is the difference. I don't have the human suffering love bug. And it's not a bug, but again, for the secure attachment people, yes, it's called that they begin to do things that are not smart like teenagers do. And then they keep on doing that instead of growing up. And they don't have the motivation to get out of that moderately dysregulated nervous system, because that's how small it is. I don't want to do personal development. I want life now. That's actually why. Oh, they broke my heart. Betrayal. I was lied to. A person told me that they wanted to spend the rest of their life with me, and 3 months later, they're out the door. Okay, so on that note, I want to be serious. I have compassion for people who don't know healthy self-worth. There's good therapists that can teach them how. Terry Real, come on in. So Terry Real shares how couples marry their unfinished business. Some of us, we don't marry our unfinished business because we don't have unfinished business. Whole point about being a confident human being when you're a teenager is I'm going to believe in me and grow my emotional confidence. And that's the fun of the 5D collective, is we're not out there being picky about people who make any kind of humor. As a solo poly, when I got to hear the comedian say that we're whores, I was like, wow, that's hilarious. And I was like, you know what? It's so sad that some people stay locked up in the scarlet letter times. They really don't know how to have passionate anything. The people who stay in lust and their survival mode, same thing goes. There's a lot of people, they don't even realize what they're missing out on. So I get to share with you enlightenment the human way. It's your restorative embodied self. It's your mammalian heritage. Integration of the brain is really awesome. Secure attachment can easily get here. They'd have to learn how to be, oh, that's right, compersion. Okay, so one story before I let you go. First of all, passion. The frequency reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. So there's very much beauty in passion, and romantic love is conscious lovers. Okay, so as a teenager, all my lovely regular listeners know my story. And see, the thing about what the grown-ups were wrong about is that when you have a first love that they're going to be like, oh, the one that you remember forever and ever. We remember all people, by the way, the 5D collective. Our oversoul expands. So with twin flames, you know who they are. You don't need a coach, and you don't go through a saga, because you have what's called healthy self-worth, which means you and I are choice points for each other. The minute that I am talking to you and you're talking to me, you're going to be emotionally available, aware, and I'm imperfect and you're imperfect. So we're going to shake hands like Pacha, or I'm a Pacha, might be a Cusco. If you're a Cusco, I'm not going to think I did something wrong, because that's only for the people who have the broken-hearted 3-year-old. When they are not able to soothe the home, I got taught, don't be soothing. You're not the mom. You're a child. Go play and have fun. Leave your sister alone. Go do your life. Don't follow your friends. Safe haven, secure base. This means you know how to regulate your nervous system, and you know how to go after what you're interested in, and that's why you share joy and love with all people. It's called compersion. My polyamory secure attachment community knows about it, and a monoamory person will too, because with integration of the brain, you're a functional adult, so you don't do teenager stuff. You know how to love yourself first. Unlike those who need Terry Real, Patrick Tiahan, they don't know how to love themselves first. When you do, you say, yes, I'm flawed and imperfect, just like you. Now we can go build a snowman, and we get to have fun as we grow up.